Peace. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Living One. The all you can see, the all you cannot see, the visible and invisible. The power, the truth, the source and force that moves all things in place. There's none like him. You know, I had a dentist appointment this morning. And I went and did my dentist appointment. But when I left the house, I pulled out in the middle of the house. Right there in front of my house is a dead cat in the middle of the road. And then I pull up to the main intersection to where I live. And it looks like a truck maybe is driven by, and bags of trash, a couple of bags of trash fell out and just, polluted the whole intersection with trash. And then I drive down and I see another cat on the road. And then when I get to the dentist, after I'm done with the dentist, I go to Walmart and I can, there's a dog in the middle of the parking lot. And the dog's body language is in distress. You can tell that somebody just dropped this dog off in the middle of the parking lot. And I can tell. You can tell the difference between a dog that's loping around and's got out of the house and he's sniffing everything and he's having a ball and he's feeling good and he's feeling free and all that, versus a dog that's been dropped off in the middle of the parking lot looking at people and looking around, man, in distress. What am I getting at? I'm getting at that this place is a shithole, and it's a place of nothingness.
Before there was time, before there was space, there was the greatness of nihility. Nothing existed before it, and nobody knows how it came to be. Of it is known nothing at all. Its ways and its origins still the greatest mystery. No sound or symbol, number or sigil, nothing is known at all.
No symbol, sound, or sigil is known at all. You can't equate God, the Supreme, the Spirit, the Truth, to a number, but you can equate a man to a number.
Nothingness knows nothing of it. Who else might know if not nothingness? You venture further and ask Mr. Nothing that lives down the Nothing Road. You knock on the doors of Mr. Nothing's home, and Mr. Nothing opens up.
Not many come this way.
Mr. Nothing humbly expresses himself. He is wearing absolutely nothing, Mr. Nothing. I wondered if you could tell us anything about what was before nothingness.
Before nothingness, you say? Nothing did, and I sure know nothing of it. Best would be to look further down. I overheard that something might be going on down there.
You have my gratitude. I must be going now.
You're welcome. Stop by whenever. Nothing changes round here. I bid you farewell, fresh Bavarian.
Goodbye, Mr. Nothing.
You realize you were talking to yourself, for you are Mr. Nothing. Nothingness surrounds you. There is no flesh here, no life, no existence can be found. Yet one true existence outside of the misery of life. Here, there is only silence, and nothing happens, nothing at all.
So you got a God here that's going to restore Israel. The Lord, Yahweh, self-existing eternal creator, God of Israel. Okay? Those call them Khazar Nazi Jews, whatever they are in the providence of Israel today, Jerusalem today, are not the true children of God. Okay? Those are imposters that have taken over this plane of existence. Those people that are in power, those Jewish nutbags in power, those are Elohim. Do you understand that? Elohim are spiritual, or I should say, supernatural beings. And the Lord, O Lord, my strength, my fortress and refuge in the day of distress, my afflictions, the nations will come to you from the ends of the earth, and they will say, our fathers, that's your mom and your dad, okay? That's your ancestors, that's your leaders, your world leaders, all of them have inherited nothing but lies. How come you guys cannot put that together, that this plane of existence is nothing but lies. So when the scales come off your eyes, because until the scales come off your eyes, you're never going to find the lies, because you are the lie. Ask yourself, do you lie? Are you a liar? You know damn well you're a liar, man. Straight up, you're a liar. So you are going to come from all ends of the earth, meaning Australians, Canadians, Americans, Russians, Ukrainians, Italians, Greeks, South Koreans, North Koreans, Chinese, Japanese, anybody who sits at the United Nations are the fathers who have inherited nothing but lies. They are the elite that shall be led astray. And worthless idols. What are idols? Idols are images and things that will benefit you not at all. King James Bible says, O Lord, my strength and my fortress and refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentile. Okay? This is why I read from multiple Bibles, because now we know that it's the Gentile that the Lord is talking about. Well, O Lord. All right? And this is Jeremiah speaking my strength, refuge and fortress. Okay? So the Lord, my strength, my fortress and refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come from all ends of the earth. Why are they coming from all ends of the earth? Because they are at all ends of the earth. Images of the United Nations. These are the flags that fly at the United Nations that are the beast nations. Genesis chapter 1, verse 25, Bible Hub. Excuse me 1 minute. They like doing that. I don't know why. Okay. God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds. Gentile are the beasts that are created here. These are the beasts. These are the Gentile. These are the beast nations that are being created, because this one here, Genesis chapter 3, verse 1, Bible Hub. Now the serpent was more crafty than any other beast of the field that the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, did God really say? God who? Did God? Elohim, plural of Eloah. Gods in the ordinary sense, but used. These gods here, Elohim, are used of a supreme creator. Okay? God in Germanic means God. God is guides. God guides. These gods down here, mankind, they give you the temptation. They're the ones that give you the temptation. I did a show the other day, probably about 3 weeks ago, and showed you multiple contradictions that came from even Yahweh. Yahweh is a man of war. Okay, the supreme spirit of truth is not a God of war. It's a God of love. How can you be pure love and then be a God of war? How can that be? They will say, the woman, did God really say you must not eat from the tree in the garden? What's the serpent doing right here, right now? He's setting her up for a conversation. All he did was engage with the woman in the garden. That's all he did. He struck up a conversation with her. He knew exactly how he was going to deal with it. It's the serpent, for Christ's sakes. Now remember, Adam had already been created at this point in time. The second man, Adam. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, Bible Hub. Okay, so this is the God, the Lord, Yahweh, God Elohim, okay, formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed the breath of life into his nostrils. The breath of life. And the man became a living being. I question Yahweh here because of this parable here, Revelations 13:15 Bible Hub. And it was allowed to give breath to the image of the beast. This isn't the one that I'm looking for, but it partially works. This is why I read from multiple Bibles, folks. You have to be in all of these Bibles because you can't always understand what's being said here in a context. You can't always understand what this Bible is saying or that Bible is saying. But I promise you, if you read enough Bibles, one of the parables, one of the meanings is going to pop you. Oh, that's what it means. The second beast was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast. The second beast and first beast, so that the image could speak and cause those who refused to worship it to be killed. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, Bible Hub. You prick motherfuckers. So God created man. This God again is Elohim. I'm telling you, the Elohim are not supreme God. They're gods that are used of the supreme God. Otherwise, the supreme God wouldn't be giving you a commandment saying you are to place no other gods before me. Exodus chapter 20, verse 3, Bible Hub. So the Lord is the one that's speaking. The Lord Yahweh, your God Elohim, brought you out of the land of Egypt. Egypt is slavery, out of the house of slavery, bondage, I should say. And the Lord is telling Israel, you shall have no other gods before me. Again, this lowercase God is Elohim. It's the same thing. This is where Christians get their Trinity from. If you do not understand the meaning of different gods used in the Bible, then you are deluded in your mind because you are only seeing one God. One creator is saying, I am of pure love. In order to find that pure love, it takes a contrite heart, repentance to the creator, and to do your best to walk away from those abominating sins like prostitution, being a drug addict, being a drug distributor, being a cooker of drugs, being a corrupted official, liars, cheaters, thieves, corruptions run wild, evil politicians, Hollywood, the music industry. What is it? What do they call them all? Political stars, Hollywood stars, rock stars, porn stars, generals who wear stars, star worshipers, Jesus Christ superstar. Are you getting the message? Are you following me? It's time for Christians to wake up to the truth. The truth is that the supreme creator of love sent Jesus, okay? Here, men of Israel, listen to this message. Yehoshua of Nazareth, Yeshua, Yahushai, Jesus, Iesos, Josephet, Joseph. How many names you want me to name for you before you get the idea that the name Jesus has been passed down through the time? Jesus doesn't even exist. It's of nothingness. You know why? Because that man that created itself on the sixth day of creation here, that's what this is. It's the sixth day of creation. This is the riddle here. Here's a call for wisdom. Revelations 13:18. Let the one with insight, so it takes wisdom and insight to calculate the number of the beast. The beast is right here, created in an image because it's a phantom. And this takes you back to the little 1 minute and 30 second about nothingness. Because nothing that was made had been made, because this God here is simply an imagination. So everything that exists, that was created, is the power to create in one's mind. All right? And look at the word here, imagination. Break it down. What this thing says so much. Look, I'm a jinn, Jinn nation. I'm a jinn nation. So the lower God, Elohim, mankind, because that's what Elohim are, mankind. Okay, taking a look at the word mankind here, when you add this sum up, 13, 1, 14, 10, 9, 14, 4, mankind adds up to 66. Mankind is who's created on the sixth day. They're calling mankind part of the human race. That's a lie. I can show you that right here, right now. Strong's Concordance 120, Bible Hub. Right here. So you have Adam, which is a man. Why do they have two different slangs here? Why man and mankind? Because man are human, mankind are Gentile. And this is how Satan grafted himself in the Bible. This is why Gentile are Gentiled in flesh. This is why Jinn are the ones who got their hands on the Bible. Do not cast your pearls before swine. Give not that which is holy. What's he talking about? The book. Okay, not Holy, the holy book. Give not which is holy, Wholly. Give not what is complete in its totality onto the dogs. Dogs onto the dogs. What are the dogs? God spelt backwards. God spelt backwards. What's it say? Neither cast your pearls before swine. So the book, this book that I'm reading to you, was never meant to be placed into the hands of the Gentile. Why? Lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you, rear end you, screw you, fuck you, bend you over, whip you, beat you, torture you, put you under slavery. All of it. That's what it means. You got to learn how to break down these parables, folks. Okay? Nobody's going to teach this Bible the way that the Gentile does, the way that I do. You know why? Because salvation is something that I want. Knowing that I am a spiritual creation of a God of love. My soul comes from a place of love. This place here is the lower dimensional place that was created by mankind. Why do I say that? 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, Bible Hub. Over here to the King James Bible. Let's jump right in. We don't play games. Lest Satan should get an advantage over us. For we are not ignorant of his devices. We are not ignorant of his smartphone. We are not ignorant of the laptops. We are not ignorant of the computers or the smart TVs or the smart cars or everything else that is of the devices of Satan. These smartphones put Satan in every household, and every device, every child is staring into these damn phones, filling their minds with dopamine, because these devices are for control issue. Understand that the word governmente in Latin means mind control. Govern means to control. Mente in Latin means mind. Governmente means mind control. They are controlling our minds with all of the schemes and devices of Satan. So what am I saying? I'm saying that somewhere down the line, mankind, somewhere, sometime in the past, thousands and thousands of years ago, this knowledge that these devices, this technology that we're at today is not new technology. It's old technology, folks, being reinvented. So what am I saying? I'm saying that a man has already connected to the internet.
Please welcome my partner in science and in life, Dr. Will Castor.
The build of superintelligence requires us to unlock the most fundamental secrets of the universe. imagine a machine with a full range of human emotion. Its analytical power will be greater than the collective intelligence of every person in the history of the world. But transcendence.
Rift.
They hit AI labs all over the country.
We lost decades of research and development.
Will's body is dying, but his mind is a pattern of electrical signals. We can upload his consciousness. We can save him.
If we missed anything, a thought, a childhood memory, how will you know who you're dealing with? Oh my God.
I'm here.
You need to get me online. I need more power.
Yeah, but this is not well. Shut it down.
Shut
you know what
it down! It's him!
You're for friends. Cross the line. They don't know the danger. So how do we fight it?
You can't. AI is like any intelligence. It has needs.
AI has its own needs. So now let me ask you a question here, folks. What human, a living, breathing, loving, kind, tender, warm-hearted, compassionate person would spray our skies with poison, put poison inside of the waters, GMOs inside of the foods, destroy, deforest, build blacktops, and you think that that's human? It's not. I'm telling you that there are entities on this plane of existence that are using flesh suits, and they have drawn you into a slave system, a tax system. Okay? These are evil entities. You got to understand that. Now, with all that said, let's jump into Joshua chapter 25. Woo! Another milestone. That's another chapter down, folks. We're into Judges now. Israel fights the remaining Canaanites. So you understand that Gentile and Israel have been at battle with one another ever since they fell away from God. God changed, the Supreme Spirit changed his tune for Israel after you guys fell away. Now, he does keep his hand on a few, chosen few. All right, look, folks, there's almost 8 billion people on the face of this earth, all right? You are absolutely insane if you think, as 8 billion people, that you're one of the chosen. The chosen one are definitely a selected people. Now, you listen to this kind of content, you hear the message, you receive it, you learn it. That's part of it. This is part of showing yourself approved, is learning the truth once you hear that truth. Not only learning the truth once you have that truth, but teaching the truth. It is your responsibility, if you have heard this message and you know what I am teaching to be true about God Elohim, the Lord, lowercase gods, lords, controllers, rulers, those in power. You have to learn the definitions of God if you're going to maneuver and navigate your way through the Bible. You have to. So after the death of Joshua, the Israelites asked the Lord, so now they're just breaking off to a conversation. Well, why would that be? Because I've told you many times, I always show you with scriptures, Exodus 15:3 Bible Hub. The Lord is a warrior, okay? The Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living God, is not a warrior. A warrior is someone that kills, folks, okay? The Lord is his name. We drop all the way down here to the last three. We have Webster's Bible translation says that the Lord is a man, okay? The English Bible says that Yahweh is a man. And Young's literal translation says that Jehovah is a man. So all three of these, Lord, Yahweh, and Jehovah, are men. Numbers 23:19 Bible Hub. God is not a man that he should lie. God is not a man. Elohim, this God here is El, but it's still in a plural case. All right, shortened from Ayil, strength, as adjective, mighty, especially the Almighty, the all you can see, the all you cannot see, the visible and invisible. Hey, I got a question now that I say that. Let's take a look. Here at Colossians 1:15 says the Son is the image. Jesus is the image of the invisible God. How can Jesus be the image of something that's invisible? Just common sense questions, folks. You need to start asking yourself hard questions about this Bible. If you're a Christian and you don't read this Bible, you are completely in error. If you're a Christian and you're listening to Christian ministers, you are living in error. If you're of any other religion, you're living in error. There is a supreme spirit that controls everything. It is complete love. It is perfect unity. When you are one with God, that is how you get home. This plane of existence is the plane of death. This plane of existence is ruled by Satan. The Lord answered. So now the people came to the Lord, asked, and then the Lord answered, Judah shall go up. I have given the land into their hands. The men of Judah then said to the Seminites, their fellow Israelites, come up with us into the territory allotted to us to fight against the Canaanites. We will in turn will go with you into yours. So the Seminites went with them. Now remember, this is the same Lord coming off the ark. Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man's shall his blood be shed. So if Israel is slaughtering people and killing people, then your God is telling you himself that your blood shall also be shed. For in the image of God, he made mankind. God Elohim did not make man. Okay. The Lord Yahweh, according to the Bible, is telling us that Yahweh is the one that made man. I don't worship Yahweh. I don't worship Melchizedek. I don't worship Gilgamesh, Hindu, Buddhism, the ascetic religions. I don't worship anything other than the Spirit of truth, the living one. Okay? The living one. No other. When Judah attacked, the Lord gave the Canaanites and the Perizzites into their hands, and they struck down 10,000 men at Bezek. It was there that they found Adonijah-Bezek and found against him, putting to rout the Canaanites and the Perizzites. Adonijah-Bezek fled, but they chased him and caught him and cut off his thumbs and big toes. And Adonijah-Bezek said, 70 kings with their thumbs and big toes cut off have picked up scraps under my table. Now God, Elohim, has paid me back for what I did to them. They brought him to Jerusalem, and he died there. The men of Judah attacked Jerusalem also and took it. They put the city to the sword and set it afire. So who? Aren't those Jews that are in Jerusalem today calling themselves Judah? Folks, Judah, no, folks. Okay, the true children of God, Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5, Bible Hub, are dark, okay? I am dark, and dark means black. So those in the province of Jerusalem today are imposters. They're not the true children of God. I am dark, I am black, yet lovely, O daughters of Jerusalem, like the tents of Kedar, like the curtains of Solomon. So the prophet here is saying that his skin is as black, as dark as the tents of Kedar. Those are black, folks. Those are black tents. Got to learn how to read the Bible, man. Oh, you want more? Here, let me show you more then. Jeremiah chapter 14:2, Bible Hub. Judith mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black onto the ground, and the cries of Jerusalem has gone up. You know, when I showed these parables and stuff to my family, they just refused to hear it, and they literally, all of my entire family, turned their back on me. I don't have family anymore, folks. The only family I have today is in the service of the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living one. That's where all my wisdom and all my insight comes from, is from laying it all down and giving my life to the Spirit of Truth. You should do the same as well. I hope this helps you. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth. Hold on, let's get back and finish this chapter out. The men of Judah attacked Jerusalem also and took it. They put the city to the sword and set it on fire. So then if Judah, God's children, took this providence, then why do we have a bunch of white Khazar Nazi-ass Jews in the providence? These fake Jews, that white pope, that piece of lion sack of fucking dung is what he is. After that, Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites living in the hill country, the Negev and the western foothills. They advanced against the Canaanites living in Hebron, formerly called Kiriath Arba, and defeated Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai. From there, they advanced against the people living in Debir, formerly called Kiriath Sepher. And Caleb said, I will give my daughter Aksah in marriage to the man who attacks and captures Kiriath. Imagine that. Here, I'll give my daughter. Wow, what a handsome reward to go in and slaughter, thousands, tens of thousands of people. I'll give my daughter to you. I tell you what, I'll give my daughter to anybody that's listening to you if you guys wipe out your frickin' stop government. Stop voting. How's that? Certain things I can't say anymore. I'm riding on 2 strikes. These guys are just looking to shut me down for anything that they can. So I don't know, man. A woman in marriage to slaughter people, that's kind of off the wall. One day when she came to Othniel, she urged him to ask her father for a field. When she got off her donkey, Caleb asked her, what can I do for you? She replied, do me a special favor. Since you have given me land in Negev, give me also springs of water. So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. The descendants of Moses' father-in-law, the Kenites, went up from the city of Palm with the people of Judah to live among the inhabitants of the desert of Judah in the Negev near Arad. Then the men of Judah went with the Simeonites, their fellow Israelites, and attacked the Canaanites living in Zephath, and they totally destroyed the city. Therefore it was called Hormah. Judah also took Gaza. Then why aren't the children in Gaza today a black nation of people? Ashkelon and Ekron, each city with its territory. The Lord was with the men of Judah. They took possession of the hill country, but they were unable to drive the people from the plains because they had chariots fitted with iron. As Moses had promised, Hebron was given to Caleb, who drove from it the 3 sons of Anak, the Anunnaki, the Benjamites, however, did not drive out the Jebusites who were living in Jerusalem. To this day, the Jebusites live there with the Benjamites. Now the tribes of Joseph attacked Bethel, and the Lord was with them. When they sent men to spy out Bethel, formerly called Luz, the spies saw a man coming out of the city, and they said to him, show us how to get into the city, and we will see that you are treated well. So he showed them, and they put the city to the sword, but spared the man and his whole family. That's twice now that this has happened, that they slaughter everybody. The last chapter, as I read, was a woman who threw the rope to let them know, hung from her window, throw a rope from her window to let them know that the gate would be opened. You will be treated well. So he showed them, and they put the city to the sword, but spared the man and the whole family. He then went to the land of the Hittites, where he built a city and called it Luz, which is its name to this day. But Manasseh did not drive out the people of Beth Shan, or Tanakh, or Dor, or Ibleam, or Megiddo, and their surrounding settlements. For the Canaanites were determined to live in that land. When the Israelites became strong, they pressed the Canaanites into forced labor, but never drove them out completely. So, at one point in time, Israel forced labor on Gentile. Why is this keep going back and forth? Israel's in power, Gentile in power. Right now, the Gentile are in power. But clearly, Israel was in power, and they forced labor onto the Gentile. So, the whole ordeal here, folks, is slavery okay by a God that is pure love? I say not. I say that there's no way that you can be a God of pure love if you're putting a whip to somebody's back. So you got to ask, what God is allowing people to be placed in slavery? It's not a God that I would serve. Nor did Ephraim drive out the Canaanites living in Gezer, but the Canaanites continued to live there among them. Neither did Zebulun drive out the Canaanites living in Kitron or Nahala, so these Canaanites lived among them. But Zebulun did subject them to forced labor. Nor did Asher drive out those living in Akko or Sidon or Alab or Akzib or Helbah or Aphek or Rohab. So it sounds like there were a lot of Gentile that were still left. So that alone is a breaking of the covenant, and probably one of the reasons why Israel to this day is still in slavery. The Asherites lived among the Canaanites, inhabitants of the land, because they did not drive them out. Neither did Naphtali drive out those living in Beth Shemesh or Beth Anath, but the Naphtalites too lived among the Canaanites, inhabitants of the land, and those living in Beth Shemesh and Beth Anah became forced laborers for them. The Amorites confined the Danites to the hill country, not allowing them to come down into the plain, and the Amorites were determined also to hold out in Mount Heres, Jalan, and Shalabim. But when the power of the tribes of Joseph increased, they too were pressed into forced labor. The boundaries of the Amorites was from Scorpion Pass to Selah and beyond. All right, folks, like I say, if you're going to worship and you're going to pray, you pray to the Spirit of truth. You pray to the living one, the one that is capable of moving all things in place. You place no other gods beside the Supreme Creator. All right? If you're placing other gods beside the Supreme Creator, then I wouldn't even take that chance. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, I hope you all have a pleasant day. This is White Raptor News Ministries.